All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast, the only
Hi
podcast that
guys.
doesn't clip your fingernails. It's Connor. Hello. And I'm
Hi
joined
guys.
here with
Connor.
SKL. Say
Hi
hello.
guys. Hi guys, SKL.
How are you doing today, SKL?
I'm doing pretty swell.
Cause,
Thank
cause
you for
I,
asking.
I'm glad to hear that. This was it's pretty hard to get get us to actually wrangle each other and sit down and record
Yeah,
this.
because then my roommate would come in and then she would be working all day and then I would feel bad for talking
No,
because
it's
she
fine.
doesn't
I
like
get it.
swearing. She doesn't like swearing, which is literally the only reason why I'm like I don't think I can do it. Mostly because swearing is just a part of
It's
how I
ingrained
talk.
into our vocabularies. It's okay.
Literally. Literally.
But Susan Wojcicki doesn't like it because we need to be ad friendly. I wanted to ask you a few things. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Ooh, an
We're gonna
interview.
unmask SKL on the podcast today, ladies and
Dude, we're gonna
gentlemen.
expose me. We're gonna
Yeah, we're
make a
gonna.
Twitter call out document.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
getting
make a
called
twit
out.
longer
This
on
is so
you.
outrageous. This is
SKL
awful. This is
SKL is a
awful. I
bad
can't believe
person.
this. This is horrible.
Yeah.
What did I ever do?
You play
I
Roblox.
Yeah, that's true. I did play Roblox. That's the funny thing. There's probably people out there that really hate me and would be like, "Yeah, no, that's a reasonable thing to cancel her for."
You think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have been doxxed like 3 times.
Jesus, wait, what?
You didn't know?
No, you never told me this.
Oh, okay.
Only if you're
So I
comfortable
got.
sharing, and that's a pretty serious
Oh, I'm fine.
situation.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I forget the first time I got doxxed, but the second time, um, it was so funny because it did scare me at the time, but looking back at it now, it's funny because I started fucking laughing because some of the reasons listed is like some of the most pettiest thing ever.
Really?
And, yeah, I forget half of them. I just know that one of them was one of the reasons was that I said lolly in Shada was bad. That was literally one of the reasons that I got doxxed.
Yeah, wow. So it's reasonable people you're dealing with.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
wait,
Just the most sensible people.
I think I know. I think I actually remember the one of the later times. It was with I
Yeah.
I don't wanna say who it was because they're fucking idiots. But it was for that one
Oh yeah.
project,
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah. I don't want to confirm or deny anything because then that's just gonna fuel the fire for
Yeah, yeah,
them. But
yeah.
I do know they tried to dox me because I called them out for some shitty behavior, and I think
Yes,
that
I
was also
remember
kind of
that.
funny.
Yeah, no.
That was the first time I was doxxed.
That
That
was
was
the
the first
first
time.
time. You've
Yeah.
been doxxed 3 times since then?
Yeah, so the third one is the same person as the second one, which I don't know who it is. I just know it's the same person.
Oh.
They've just been on Roblox and Twitter
Are they
making.
associated with the devs from the first time?
No, not at all. As far as I know, anyway, they probably aren't.
Huh.
As far as I know, I just know that they've been I mean, especially on Roblox. Roblox has a huge problem with this, where
Oh, yeah.
people will get doxxed on there, and Roblox no matter how many times you report the account, it's just still there forever. That
Ro-
account would have the town, the state, and someone's real name. And I've seen
Jesus.
so many accounts just for Friday Night Funkin' modders.
Of course.
Just for people who modded a funny little game about rapping.
Yeah, I mean, that community has been in a downward spiral for a while now.
Absolutely.
I knew that Roblox's moderation team was bad. I didn't know it was that bad, though.
It's even worse. They refused to ban people who were uh predict preying on children for
Oh, Jesus.
years.
God
What a
damn.
wonderful way to start the
Yeah, what a
podcast.
great topic to start with. Um, we'll come back to
Dude, I
Friday
love
Night
that.
Funkin' in a bit because I think I largely touched on that in the first episode. But I wanted to ask, do you remember like the earliest years of you being online? Like, what was your start into the online
Absolutely.
space?
Okay. So imagine this. You're just a little 7, 8-year-old child who
Hmm.
just found out about the internet. And you find out that people on there get on there and share things and share creations and make stuff on there.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I want to do that. So you go on TV and art and register an account. I got exposed to so much shit on
Yep.
there.
I
And it
remember
sucks.
I remember that happened to me with the My Little Pony fan base on YouTube when I was
Oh
younger.
no.
Yeah, it was really a wild west back in
Oh.
the day.
Oh my god, that reminds me. So obviously DeviantArt was my first account, but I didn't use it like as a normal child would. I would just steal art and just re-upload it and be
Oh,
like, I never like claimed it as my own. I more like just re-uploaded it for no reason. And I thought, yeah, this is
this
good.
one
Yeah.
I like. This one I will put it on
Like,
my
but
page.
and I mean, I was 8, and I
Yeah,
think the
true.
funniest thing too was like you know how DeviantArt you can categorize your art
I
into
am
like
not
what
very
it is and
familiar
stuff.
with DeviantArt, but I assume you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like when you're submitting deviantation, however the fuck you say it, when you're submitting like art, you get to categorize like what kind of art is it? Like, is it digital? Is it traditional?
Okay.
Okay, what kind? Is it like watercolor, something, something? Um, I always categorized every upload as like fractal art, and that's not even what fractal art is. It's just like these infinite looping like
Yeah, those like
patterns.
those fractal videos on YouTube.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, I always like uploaded my deviantations as like fractal art, and then I would always get like this one commenter, and they would be like, "This is not fractal art. You need to change this right now." And I never understood what it meant because I'm an 8-year-old, so I just never replied
I
ever.
just can imagine some annoyed person online comment.
Literally,
You need to move this tag. Like
they were like, "You need this is not fractal art. You need to
this
change
is
this
not
right
what this
now."
tag means. You need to change it right now.
No, that's literally what they were.
The post
It's so
police came
funny.
after you.
And oh my god, I think even back then too, like it wasn't as much of a problem as it is now, but it was still a huge problem. People did
Yeah.
not tag their porn. People did not tag their porn.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Like that's
Absolutely, yeah. Like nobody would market it as a chore. I mean, people did, but a lot of people also didn't enough. Where it's like, I just stumbled upon inflation art. Oops.
yeah. I think that space is it's a tricky subject because on the one hand, I think that parents need to moderate what their children are like the content that their children are consuming online. I don't think that that should
Yeah,
be a fault of the platform supplying it. I Because like that's how
absolutely.
censorship happens and stuff. But on the other
Yeah,
hand,
I
I
feel
also think that there's a fine line that you have to drift between like 2008 DeviantArt and the like completely like YouTube kids stuff. You know what I mean?
literally, yeah. I feel like I I'm a huge supporter of like having adult content and having like
Yeah.
because even though I'm like asexual and
Mhm.
shit, I feel like people have that right to make that kind
Of
of stuff.
course, of
Um,
course.
yeah, and I
Within
absolutely feel
reason,
like
within reason. That's
like that one SpongeBob gift without reason,
yeah.
and then
And live.
and like I feel like people should be given spaces to do that, but at the same time I feel like there should be like filters in place so people
Definitely.
that are either like under the age or just do not want to see that shit
Yeah.
don't have to see it. Like obviously there's still filters on DeviantArt and like they were always there. Like you had to like sign in and confirm your age and stuff, but that
That's
doesn't help when
basically like
nobody
an
like
unlocked gate, you know?
literally, but it doesn't help when like nobody, tags their shit.
That's true. That's true. It has to go
It's
both
like
ways, I feel like.
yeah, because like on one hand, people can lie about their age,
Oh,
but I feel
absolutely.
like there's only so much you can do to prevent that.
Yeah, because you have to. Because if you want to stop that, okay, well, then that means you have to basically at a national level put a minimum age requirement on who can access the internet, and that's pretty
That's
unrealistic, I would
horrible.
say.
Yeah, like even though I do wish, like as a younger person on the internet, that I wasn't exposed to certain things. At the same time,
Yeah.
I am glad that I got on the internet as young as I did. When I did, my family life wasn't doing that great, and I think in a way it provided some sort of like positive like escape. Not to
Outlet.
mention like outlet, yeah, and not to mention like it introduced me to all the sorts of things that people can do, and then introduced me to like like, well, people can code, people can draw online and post it, people can animate, and I'm like, holy shit, you can do all of that. Actually, that's actually how I got into like Roblox and Scratch at one point, because I was like 10 years old now. Like, this is 3 years later after I like discovered DeviantArt, and I was like, you know what? I want to make a game. So I googled how to make a game, and one of the search results that came up was like Roblox. So then I made an account on there, and then I also found out about Scratch, and then I made an account on there, and then like I used Roblox first in 2010 for a year, and then I found out about Scratch a year later, so I just dropped Roblox for a year. I love Scratch, but I remember having so many projects that I would like never finish.
Yep.
So like,
I still have, I'm so glad that I still have my account from like 2017 because there are
yeah,
so many like vent animations, I guess, that I posted those. Trust me, that's basically all that account is, but
whenever I was just a little scratchling, whenever I just joined it, I remember I found one of the popular scratchers at the time, who is still one of my very good friends, Scratchy8. He was really big back in the day. A lot of people loved his stuff, and I remember
I feel
seeing a
like I
bunch of his
remember that
projects.
name.
Yeah, he was one of the Mario recolors. He had green overalls, a magenta shirt, and like a white hat. I remember I saw a lot of his projects, and I was like, dude, that is so cool. I want to be friends with that guy, but I never said it out loud or like, like. I remember I copied him a lot because I really liked his stuff, and I wanted to be like that.
I did
And
actually
it's so
something very similar. I remember basically idolizing this guy Logan V. Cairns. You've probably still seen some of his more recent stuff that he's been posting. He's the guy that made the inverted fate fight. He made the spammed in Neo versus Noel fight recently. Have you seen it?
oh,
Yeah, that guy. I
I
remember
think I did.
I would take his projects and remix them with like different costumes or different sprites, and basically draw over it with my own self-insert characters. It was
I remember when I first started Scratch, I didn't have a Sona at the time. So, I mean, if you looked at my username, I was obsessed with Kirby at the time. So I would just use Kirby as like a Sona of sorts.
yeah.
I would just like there'd be like add yourself projects, and I would just like put Kirby in there because, hey, that's in my username. I'm Kirby. Hi guys.
Hi guys, Kirby.
Hi guys. The way I met Scratchy Wait was really funny because like I remember one of his projects said that he had a Roblox account, and it was Super Jumpman 12 on Roblox, and I'm like, dude, he has a Roblox account? Maybe I can like play with him and we'll be friends. And
Yeah.
then I saw he was playing Survive the Disasters, so I joined that game. He was playing with another friend at the time, Benjamin, and I remember we were playing, and then I think either Scratchy Way or Benjamin was like, "Hey, you're cool. Do you wanna add us on Skype?" And again, I want to remind you, I'm like 10 or 11
Yeah, of
at that
course, of
time.
course.
So my dumbass doesn't know what Skype is. So they're like, "Oh, just go to like Skype.com and just like download it." And then they walked me through it on Roblox. This is before the censors, so they walked through it on how to like install Skype and
This
set
is
up the
very
account.
sketchy behavior, I have to admit.
Oh, it is. But like when you're teenagers and you're like young kids, you don't understand how it comes off as so fucking
How much
sketchy.
older were they than you at the time?
They were like 2 to 3 years older than me.
Oh
It's
no. Oh
it
no.
sounds
My
so
computer's about to
awful.
die. Oh.
No,
Oh, that's
I
not
thought you were like
good.
saying. I thought you were saying, "Oh no, like that sounds horrible." Them, or
Wow.
just like I don't feel safe with like interacting with my parents at that time, and they were like, "Sorry, get your parents," and that made me really scared. So I just stopped trying to email them to get unbanned for like years, and people were really pissed about it. I remember there was like a few naysayers at the time saying like, "Oh no, she deserved to get banned because she went into suicide
How
in
old were you at the
detail."
time of this?
I think 14 or 15. No, it was 14. 2000. So it was like 2000. something. I don't even remember.
Jeez,
But
that's really not okay.
it
For the
was not. And literally, like I said, there was people saying that I deserved to get banned because like I apparently went into detail about suicide, which I did not, by the way. People were saying like I went into detail about how I would kill myself. That never happened. It was a passing mention. I thought about killing myself, but I won't because I know people care about me.
Yeah, no,
And
that's insane. I never knew that. You never told me the story.
no, but like I tell it to people who are familiar with Scratch because it's so insane to me that it happened.
Yeah, no,
And
because whenever I was on Scratch, I mean,
it was so
obviously, I didn't, I never really went through anything like that, but um, I can see how a young person would sort of vent about their emotions like that, and to think that the team would take down a post for no reason and no explanation, like not even saying, hey, if you need help, then please seek it elsewhere. We do not promote this kind of like content on
yeah.
our
Like I
platform
would
or
get it.
something.
Like I would yeah, like I would get it if they said I said like I shouldn't mention suicide or like I shouldn't like I should have worded it more gently. I could get that. But they never told me a ban reason until like I emailed them, or like until like people started asking. They literally never said anything until people started asking, and I
Wow,
think that's just so weird.
that is very
And
strange.
I remember one of my friends was like looking at the community guidelines, and they were like, "Dude, that doesn't say anything about not mentioning about not being allowed to mention suicide in the community guidelines." And then
Strange.
like as soon as somebody said that, I feel like I think the next day or so that was put in the community guidelines. They just slapped it in the day after being like, "No, guys, it was there,"
Oh my
and
God.
it was so weird. It was bizarre, and I believe there was only like one person I think majorly responsible for my ban, and the rest of the team just had to like pretend they were okay with it because um,
Hmm.
if they showed like disagreement within the admin team, that would really it would not look good. I think I know
Hmm.
how like that's a lot of how moderation teams are, and I think the person who banned me was a retired Scratch moderator, Lightning, like Lightning without the G,
Uh-huh.
and I remember him. He was saying all that. He was spreading lies about me, saying like how I described suicide, and
What?
I think that's what literally they're literally making shit up about like a 14-year-old, and
Jesus.
and then in 2019, I believed I emailed them because I hated. I was just tired of being IP banned and unable to access the website whenever I had a few friends still using the website, and I was like, hey, I'm like hold on, I'm trying to I'm like 16 now. I got help for a lot of this stuff, so can I just get unbanned? I won't talk about it. And they're like, yeah, sure. Sorry about that, by the way. Because like I talked to them about what issues I had with how I was treated whenever I got banned and stuff. They apologized for it, so it's not like I hold it against them personally.
Mm.
I just think it's like I
It's
think because a lot of the team is different now than what it was whenever I got banned.
yeah.
So I don't hold it against them, but
Mm.
at the same time, the people that were there and in charge were kind of weird. They're kind of quirky.
Yeah, no, that is something I could never see them doing now. Like that is
Oh,
just
absolutely not.
one of that's insane, like
Oh,
genuinely.
yeah, no, like like I got a few warnings. One of the rules is that you can't mention like offsite um like websites. So like
You
anything that's
can't?
not on Scratch. No, you can't like link to YouTube. You can't link to Twitter.
Oh,
You're not.
uh nobody go
It's
to
a
my
lot like
account. I may
don't
have
report.
I may have linked to certain tweets and YouTube
Don't.
accounts. Oh no, I'm
So
gonna go to the
like from what
scratch
I've
jail.
seen, God. So from what I've seen, the exception is like you can draw the logos of like these websites. You just can never link them.
Really?
And yeah, and I get why. It's similar to like Roblox in that sense, where it's like don't link offsite stuff, which
Yeah, I
is
get
that's
that.
a decent way to be like, hey, kids, don't go off and go to weird places online.
Yeah,
And
because
it's
with
like,
the with a platform with a like a largely child audience as well, you don't want certain actors
Yeah.
on the website promoting unfavorable links on the internet.
Yeah. So I get it, but like, fucking, I would get like I put it in a project saying, "Hey guys, I'm on Twitter and Tumblr and stuff," and they would have to take that down. And
Hmm.
this time they didn't ban me outright. They actually gave me they like took it down and then put a little message in my inbox saying why they took it down. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that. I'm so glad that they do that now because I believe he would have just gotten banned or something like for a couple of days in the past. But
Wow.
I don't know. That never happened to me. That's just my wild guess.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so you said before that your time on Scratch did it lead into Roblox? Like which of the two happened first, would you say?
Uh, pretty sure that Roblox happened first. But then like I wasn't learning fast enough on Roblox because like my dumb little ADHD child brain was like, I'm not doing this right away. Something's wrong with this whole thing. Maybe it's Roblox that's wrong. So then that's when I searched how to make a game and then made got on Scratch.
Hmm.
But after a year being on Scratch, that's when I learned I could just be on two sites at once. So that's whenever I think in 2012 I returned to Roblox, and I think it's really funny that I returned to Roblox like after 2011 because I missed one of the biggest things on Roblox, which was the April 2011 hack. Where do you know anything about
I
it?
don't. I haven't heard about this.
Okay, so story time. I believe somebody password guessed into a Roblox admin's account, and that gave them like access to all of these admin tools. And what they were doing was you know those like little ribbon like announcement things on the top of the website,
I
like
think
whenever
so.
something's like whenever there's an event or announcement or like hey maintenance or whatever.
Yeah.
um so the hacker would like put up those little ribbons, but instead of saying like anything important, they would just make it say a bunch of swears and stuff.
Like the Wizard 101 hack that happened.
Yeah, literally, it would just do shit like that. And I remember they uploaded a custom face too. Hold on, Roblox April 2011 hack. I have to get the face because they uploaded it. And it was on sale for a little bit, but then it got off sale whenever they came back, and then they removed it from everyone else's inventories. The face was just literally just fucking probably a paint.net image they made and just was like, you know what, let's just make a face.
Yeah, I mean, it
And
seems pretty harmless.
yeah, but a lot of people find it creepy because it's like, I get why it's like this face that doesn't fit with the rest
It's
and was like,
lore. Someone's gonna make an EXE out of that.
yeah. People already did.
Oh,
There's so
well,
many
looks like I'm right
there's
on
so
the
many
money.
like creepy pastas surrounding the fucking hack and it's so funny.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I just misremembered. It was the 2012 April Fool's incident, not
So
the
it was
2011.
April
Whatever.
2012.
Yeah, it was April 2012.
It's
I
interesting
misremembered.
that you mention that because that month in the Deltarune soundtrack, there's a track called April 2012, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. Probably not, but
No, I think that's Homestuck related.
is it?
Um, I believe so. I don't remember the complete origins, but I do know that
It's
I
the
believe.
track for the party room in the card castle in
Yeah,
chapter one.
yeah, I do think that was like used for something Homestuck related, but I do also remember that was on Toby Fox's old website
Interesting.
from like years ago. Whenever he decided to have his website. Um, I know that Toby Fox knows about Roblox, but I don't think he plays it like at all. He just
Probably
knows of
not.
it.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his Tumblr post, there's him like talking about the good old days of Roblox.
Yeah. It's interesting because like I remember so vividly those like old when I was younger playing on Roblox. I got started a little bit later. I was maybe 16 or 15 when I started playing Roblox. And I remember we've talked before about literally how I was playing the epic crossover and
Oh
there
my
was
god.
this one day where you I think you were on it just like dicking around with the modding tools. And it's crazy to think that me playing that game, just how the dominoes fall to where like we're
Yeah,
hanging
I've
out and
had
doing stuff
so
now.
many friends tell me that making the epic crossover was like the
We don't have to talk
both like the
about that project a little too much. I know it's a little bit of
no,
a
it's
sensitive
okay. I don't
subject.
mind talking about it. I've had so many friends tell me that was both the best and the worst thing that's ever happened to them, and I think that's great. Um, like I've made a lot of friends through the epic crossover,
Mm.
but I also that gave us a lot of the worst experiences ever. So it's
Yeah,
like double edged sword, but like I'm kind of glad it happened in a way. Like I wish some of the bad things didn't happen,
yeah.
but you know what? I liked all the good experiences.
It's definitely a very nostalgic time
Um,
for me.
like technically, I think I made it in 2012 with like a bunch of free models, and only like me and like two other friends would roleplay on it.
Oh yeah.
But then I remade it in like 2013, and then slowly started getting an audience. I met some friends. Then I remade it again with said friends in 2014. Then I remade it again a year later, and then I remade it again a year later, and then that map in 2016 stuck.
Oh my God. So
Um,
I was playing like version 5, huh?
Probably. I remember people would like record their experiences and like upload it to YouTube
Really?
on Roblox. Yeah, and I remember I found a video and I'm like, dude, this is so cool. People recording and playing themselves playing the game. That's so
That
cool.
is so cool.
And it was really nice that people like enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember before like Roblox really hit it big. Um, Technically the epic crossover was sort of on the front page a few times in like the role playing section,
Yeah, I
and
remember seeing it. I think that's how I discovered it. It was on the front
yeah,
page one
that's how
day.
a lot of people discovered it. It was on the front page, and
It got taken down, didn't it?
it got taken down like I think like a year or two ago.
Mm.
Um, but I remember, I think one of the funniest things is that I made the epic crossover in like both inspired and in spite of this other guy, a Super Luigi fan, who made the ultimate crossover.
Yeah.
Um, we're cool now. Like, in fact, I think we're just, I don't know. I think we're like pretty decent. Like, we don't hate each other,
We
which
don't got
I'm
no more
glad
beef.
for. Nope. But I remember that back then he wasn't the greatest person, and I remember he used to be he. I remember I think he got on my game, said like some mean stuff, and then left, just
Whoa.
like about the game, not about me or anything. And then I got like really pissed about it. So then I decided like you know what, fuck that game. I'm just gonna make this one the better one. So I continued to work on like tech to make it like it was like literally like that one fucking image of like Daniel, the cooler Daniel. I was trying so hard to be the cooler Daniel.
So it was
I
literally
was
just
trying
made
so
in
hard.
spite of that other game, huh?
Yeah, like at first it wasn't, and then it was.
That's really funny.
And yeah, and then I
You're
remember
like,
the
I
ultimate
want to
crossover got
make the
taken
better version.
down. I remember the ultimate crossover got taken down, and then I think this was whenever I was older. So then whenever it got taken down, I was actually really sad about it. And because like as much as I didn't like the guy at the time, it was also like a place of nostalgia for me.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Oh
And then
well.
I started slowly worrying about if my game would get taken down.
Yeah.
And it did in 2020, like years later.
How time
And I don't
flies.
know how, I have no idea how it flew under the radar under Roblox for so long.
What do you
I think
mean?
it's the,
Was it not supposed to be on the site?
I don't know if you know about this, but either Nintendo or like subsidiaries of it or like under, like you know how the Pokemon company will like copyright strike anything Pokemon
Oh, yeah,
related
because they
on
did that with
Roblox.
Brick Bronze too. That was also on Roblox. I remember that. I was really upset about that.
Yeah, yeah, and so part of me was like, I'm wondering when Nintendo is just gonna send out their little
Their
copyright
Secret
strike ninjas,
Service.
their little Secret Service ninjas. I was wondering when they would ever come, and they did years later when I was done with the game.
Nah, well,
And
no skin
I
off my
mean,
skin.
yeah, literally. And that was the time whenever I literally was pretty much done with the game. I tried remaking it. I actually have like an unfinished like script, like completely like I remade the UI and stuff, so it's not as cluttered or like janky.
Yeah.
It actually looks kind of cool. Um, and we were starting to work on the map. Um, and then I remember my experience with the community was not the greatest because, like, I'll admit I was a hot-headed kid and I also was a little bit impulsive. So compare, like, put that in with a bunch of other very impulsive, immature kids, you got the worst outcome of all time. Where
Sure.
like we just got like kids screaming at each other, and I didn't really know how to moderate a server. So I had like I think there was like 100 or 200 like Discord members in the Epic Crossover Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point that like spawned a little hate group for me. And then anytime I like did anything, people would just like shit on me. And it got
Jesus.
so bad where I got really pissed over somebody leaving a suicide note in a vent channel and then nobody like pinged the admins. So I got like I feel like I rightfully got angry about it, but the way I went about it was not the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
But people really got mad about it and just like started like hurling out like personal insults. So then I kind of felt chased out of my community. I literally left the I left the Discord and then just gave it to one of my friends and said, well, I asked my friend at first if they wanted it. They said, yeah, they'll do their best with it.
Is
So
that
I
Discord
transferred
still
over.
around?
No, it is completely deleted.
Hmm.
Um, so I think what ended up happening. So I gave the Discord and pretty much the game to my friend. Um, and then they kind of managed it for a little bit, but then they were like, they eventually came to me like a year or so later, and they were like, "Yeah, this isn't working out. This is so stressful. I see why you quit."
Yeah.
And then we slowly were trying to figure out a way to like shut down the game. And then that's when the Nintendo ninjas came over and just like, nope, this game is gone. Bye.
Yep.
And both of us were like, holy shit, thank God. And then, and then like, then there was just the Discord. And then what ended up happening was, um, we still wanted to be like, thank you for all the time you gave us, like spent with us and stuff. We just wanted to be nice to the community because you know there are still a lot of good people there.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing was I took the old map and like all that shit in there. I saved it as a Roblox file and I uploaded it to the Discord. And I'm like, here you go, here you guys go. You guys can just have the map, and if since the game is now taken down, you can just have your own little version.
Oh, so the map is
And
still around?
yeah, it's probably getting passed around at this point.
Oh, that's so
But
cool.
apparently though, there's like a lot of people who like took that map, and now there's like right leaning like little the epic crossovers.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of like transphobic, homophobic people in those
Oh.
like little yeah.
Oh, I do
So
remember. I
like
do
on
remember that the server would get hacked a lot, and there would just be like
oh yeah,
textures replaced
exploiters.
all over the place.
Oh my god, exploiters were everywhere, especially on roleplay games because I don't know why, but I think it was just because they liked trolling and having like messing with people. So
Yeah.
they would just go and roleplay games and then just that would be the easiest troll, just mess something up, just put porn somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Easiest troll of all time. And I we really felt bad because I remember we didn't know how to like handle it. We would ban them, but then they would just make another alt. And like I want what we wanted to do, I believe, was like have like an account like age limit where it's like your account has to be this old in order to play. But that didn't stop anything. Exploiters were patient. They were very patient.
Yeah, that's usually how the story goes with this kind of thing.
Yeah, and it really sucked because Roblox at that time didn't like as much as they hated exploiters, they didn't do shit about them.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, fuck. I guess we just have to deal with this now,
Yeah, pretty much.
and it sucked. And on one, there was a few instances where like there was good exploiters where they would just show up, be a little funny, but not like in a damaging way. They would just like hang out, be funny, and then leave
Yeah.
and clean up everything. And those kind of people, those were really nice people actually. But I don't remember like who they were anymore. I just remember that happened, and then they just disappeared.
Yeah. So moving away from Roblox for a little bit, I you have a comic called Marlette. Do you want to talk about that for a little bit?
No, I'm just kidding. I won't. No, I
No,
will not
let's
talk
talk
about
about
Marlette.
Roblox some more.
No, I'm not done. This kind of relates. to Marlette. I promise. I remember in Roblox, whenever the Epic Crossover was a thing in 2015, whenever Undertale came out, one of my friends, who was an admin on there, was like, "Hey, have you heard about Undertale? I think you would like it." My dumbass was like, "Nah, I don't think it would be my thing." And then I
Yeah,
looked
here we are
into it.
today.
Hi guys, my defining personality trait is Undertale. No,
Yo,
um,
same. She's just like me for real.
so true. Like I remember I got into Undertale and then I started like really getting into the characters. But I didn't play the game because I didn't get it at the time. Like I didn't buy it yet. Because I didn't know if my mom would have been okay with the purchase like that. She would have. She was okay with it. I just was dumb.
Yeah, same.
And so I would just watch let's plays of it, and I would
Mm-hmm.
get the characters based off of how people like reacted and like drew the characters. And I remember, fucking, I misinterpreted the characters a whole lot. I
Oh,
remember
everyone
reading
did.
oh, absolutely, but I think I misinterpreted them to a point where like I remember I read a fan fiction about Sans having depression, and I cried my eyes out at like at night, being like, why is he so sad?
Yeah, there was definitely that like period of time. I want to say like early 2017, late 2016, where people just massively misinterpreted the character and inserted their own headcanons to the point where like a lot of them
It's
became
not.
very
It's literally
distorted.
not. It's not even the same character anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not entirely against that. It's just it's a fascinating case study about how like the lenses at which people see characters like that can get distorted. And I think that the game sort of promotes interpretations like that
Oh,
because there's a
absolutely.
large chunk of the game that is just very vague and not really explicit in the game is
Mhm.
not explicit in how it presents the characters, and I think that leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
Yeah, like they are, but they aren't in a way. And I think having that breathing room really allowed the game to like blow up the way it did because a lot of people would interpret things certain ways, and it didn't necessarily conflict with the game.
Yeah, that's
And
the thing.
people were just having fun, and it was like one of the most creative fan bases I've seen, honestly.
True. Anyway,
And it was really fun.
tell me, what is your
I
Marlette
promise this.
comic?
I promise this goes back into Marlite. I was getting there. So, whenever I believe in 2018, I think I started to like understood the characters a bit more slowly. And um, let me look. There it is, 2018. That's whenever I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make a ship child between Sans and Toriel because like I've always really liked Sans and Toriel as a ship.
Oh,
I
so this
really
has been
liked
around
them.
for a while.
Oh yeah, but I just never did anything with it until like recently.
Uh,
I had concept art in 2018. Like I remember seeing other fan Sorial fan kids at the time, and they were just like this fusion between Sans and Toriel, and I always didn't like that in my head. And I'm like, no, that's not how genes work. So then I would open up MS Paint, and then like I shot down some ideas, and then I never touched it again. Um, I had like a skeleton goat, and then just a
the
normal goat,
classic.
literally. And I didn't know which one to go with. And so I just left that there for a little bit. The core idea for her was there. Like she was a child. The concept sketches actually had like a skirt and a little t-shirt too with stripes. Um, I think the colors were always going to be pink and purple, but I just didn't color it because my dumbass just was like, "Yeah, I'll remember it." It was late 2021. That's when I revisited the idea. So like 3 years later, so I designed another one, another funny Soil fan child, similar to my first idea, but like more refined. And then I posted it in the Inverted Fate server, and then one of my friends, Chaos, he suggested a name for her, and then that got me attached. I liked the name a lot, and then I started thinking about the character more, and then like, fuck, now I have to make this a thing. At first, it was just a bunch of doodles, and then I'm like, you know what? You know what? I want to tell a story. Like all major fucking comic creators do. And then
Marlette is awesome and has
she's
laser
so
eyes,
awesome
and
and
she
cool.
has seven colored souls, and
She has like gaster
she can
blasters.
do
She's an
the chaos saber like Asriel can, and she's so awesome.
God. I do remember the main thing I wanted to do with Marlette was like you have all these Sorial fan kids where it's like you can clearly see the ties to Sans,
Yeah.
and like I get it because you know Sans is the funny, cool, edgy
Sans
guy.
is my favorite character. He has a flaming glowing blue eye, and
And it's
Marlette
like
has a flaming glowing pink eye, and it's awesome.
I would hate that if somebody ever made that.
I'm gonna
No, but
draw
like
it.
no, that would be awful.
I'm gonna draw it and make it like a super high quality artwork. Just plastered
Horrible.
Sans face on Marlette.
Oh my god. I remember like seeing all the like Sorial fan kids with like that heavy like you can tell that's somehow related to Sans. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I want to give Toriel a little bit more love. Cause as much as like even though like people really like Sorial, a lot of people just kind of tend to put Toriel to the side a little bit and focus on Sans.
Yeah, and I think even
And
making Marlette share more physical traits tutorial sort of plays into the theme of the comic a little bit.
absolutely, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I just want to make her a goat. That's it. She has some skeleton related things, but we don't know about that.
She has a Guster Blaster and they're
And
pink
then she's
colored
gonna kill me.
with.
Um,
That's what happens at the
and
end
I
of the
remember
genocide route. Marlette stands in the final corridor and says, "Do you think even the worst person could change?"
it's just this little fucking 7-year-old being like, do you think
Do
even the
you
worst
think
person
even
could
the worst person could change? Ba 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 ba.
God? And then fucking like oh my god. But I remember whenever I made her a goat, the immediate like thought after that, whenever I started developing her more, was like, you know what? This could play into Sans's like sort of lack of responsibility where like he doesn't like to do anything. He doesn't like to be responsible.
Yeah,
So I'm like, you know what? That'll be cool.
it will be.
Saving that for later.
I can't wait to see you make more. And
Yeah.
speaking of Undertale comics, you know I gotta plug it.
Oh no.
Here it
Oh no, here it
comes.
comes, guys.
I actually
Plug your
asked
ears.
SKL to help me with a project of mine, and I'm working on an Ink Asriel comic. For those unaware, it's a take on Ink Sans in a new like Undertale multiverse, like a reboot, where instead of Ink Sans, it would be an Ink Asriel of sorts. And I'm very proud of the progress that we've been making. We've got some really cool stuff planned for that. So be sure to read
It's just
that.
ink sands, but better.
It's
I'm
Ink
kidding.
Sans but better. Exactly. No, I don't. That's so rude.
No,
No, but it's gonna be really cool, and I'm really excited to share the ideas that we've got going on.
I think ink as real as a concept fits a lot better
I think so
because
too.
like I mean, have you seen that fucking kid's like little edgy Sona that he turns into at the end of Undertale?
It's
That
perfect.
man would literally like I mean, I get why the fandom latched onto Sans, but Asriel is right there.
Yeah, Asriel, I think definitely fits a little bit more, just based on his character and the
Yeah,
parallels that you can make with
yeah.
the character. I want to talk more about it and what I think would work really well, but unfortunately, I haven't like made. I haven't even gotten past page 15 yet in terms of
Oh boy.
drawing. Um, so I really want to make more and talk about it more, but I can't because we haven't shown everything. There's the secrets, the lore. He doesn't have a soul. He doesn't have those things, but he does. But he doesn't remember his memories. You need to find. You need to read. You need to read to see what happens to him.
He
Yeah,
ate
go
a soul in the comic. You
go
should
read
read
our
it.
comics. Go read our comics.
Read the Ink Asriel comic. He ate a soul. So
He
I just
ate
made that
a,
up.
yeah, he ate a soul. He said, "Num num num. Ooh, I just love
Nom, nom, nom,
souls."
nom.
Um,
Yummy.
but yeah, I think that about brings us to the end of the podcast episode. Do you have anything you want to plug before we go, SKO?
The first thing that came into my mind was, you guys should watch Ed's World, but I'm like, no, this is Undertale related. This
It's
is
fine. It's
Undertale
fine. You
related.
can. I meant like a project that you're working on right now that you want to
Oh,
talk. But that's
that's
fine.
hard to say because I'm working on like 20 million projects. There's Team Switch Underswap,
Hmm.
there's D-Sides, there's kind of Inverted Fate. I haven't really helped out for a while, but I did contribute a lot of stuff to it. There's I mean, I haven't helped out on SiIvagunner for like years at this point, but I did SiIvagunner stuff at one point.
Hmm.
Uh, and I guess like I don't know what project to plug.
It's okay. That's plenty. I'll put all those in the description. Go check them all out.
Yippee!
But
Yippee!
yeah, thank you so much for coming on, SKL. This was a real treat. Thank you.
Of course. And I hope you explode.
All right. See you guys in the next episode.
Bye guys, Tord.